It's crazy because ever since Dressrosa has ended the whole Luffy versus Doflamingo stuff, and even some of the Luffy versus Doflamingo stuff, but mainly the end of this arc has been one crazy chapter after another. Now, I think what Oda did with this particular chapter, he took yet again everything that Dressrosa was, and granted, it had its problems, its pacing problems and whatnot, but it made all of that setup and build up even bigger than it was before. Like, prior to this chapter, I was like, okay, he took everything that happened in the arc and used those characters, in particular from the Coliseum, to actually make the final fight with Doflamingo, like, even larger than life, and, all of them are helping, and, they're going after Doflamingo and whatnot. But this chapter gave us something, I think, to be honest with you, even better to a certain degree than just the next Straw Hat. Because, yeah, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't mind another Straw Hat, whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, everyone always goes back to when Luffy said he wanted 10 and whatnot. But to actually get Luffy on that level that he needs to be, with pretty much 5,600 subordinate crew members, that is, wow, that is going to give him the power that he needs. I mean, hopefully Luffy doesn't do nothing stupid, like say, nah, we're good, I don't need that, which that would be silly. So I'm pretty sure he's going to say, whatever, if you guys want to do it, fine, because, I mean, this is going to be a huge step in giving Luffy that power and authority that he needs to take it to the next level. I mean, I don't know if at some given point Luffy will become a Yonko or whatnot, but, I mean, having 5,600 people following him, that is fucking power, baby. And then across this chapter as well, you have Luffy versus Fujitora, and I mean, it feels a lot grander to a certain degree than just a typical battle with an admiral. Not grander, but more so just clever, I guess I would say, because it's like he's fighting him, and first of all, Fujitora can't really make heads or tails of Luffy. I mean, at the end of the day, he knows his position as an admiral. He knows what he has to do because he already flipped the coin or whatever, so to speak, but ultimately, he kind of still feels like there's something off about Luffy, and I think, again, some of the a little bit less interesting stuff of Dressrosa with, like, all the people from the town constantly getting their reactions, it amounted to something than just filler shit, which granted it did feel like it, and still looking back, like, but with the townspeople recognizing how great of a person Luffy is and that he saved them. If it wasn't for the townspeople, Fujitora had them trapped. I mean, he had the entire sky filled with fucking rubble ready to drop down and trap everyone. And at the end of the day, even if they escaped, like Fujitora said, Luffy's life was still going to be a living hell. Right now, between the townspeople saving Luffy, which again, that had to be built up. That wasn't going to happen over, well, it happened overnight, I guess, in the context of the story. But, that happened over chapter upon chapter. They basically saved him. And then all the crew members are going to save him from Yonko just coming left and right at him. Because it's like, you want to come at us, that's cool. I got 5,600 motherfuckers that are going to fuck you up, dog. And I think everything that Fujitora is recognizing in this chapter is going to once again play along into later parts of the story. Because now, yet again, that he sees, even the townspeople are recognizing how great of a guy this dude is. The Straw Hat Luffy, so to speak. He's seeing like, okay, maybe in the grand scheme of things, I won't have to be enemies with him. I think he didn't even want to do this to begin with. He had no choice. He had to abide by what he is. At the end of the day, a Marine, he's an admiral, so he had to do this. But getting the ultimate test that Luffy ain't a bitch. He didn't run away. This time he stood his ground, which yet again, character development from last chapter, and he said it yet again in this one. And to just see ultimately that even though he's evolved in a sense where Luffy's like not running away, he's still Luffy. He's still the innocent character. So getting more of an introspection to who he is ultimately is like, he is a good dude, but he's not being a pussy anymore. And this is what this chapter clarified. And you gotta wonder what happened with Fujitora with his eyes or whatnot, why he took his own eyes, whether he stabbed them out. It looks like there's like scars on his eyes, so I'm guessing he cut his own eyes for whatever reason. And you gotta think, okay, there's a couple different possibilities as to why would somebody take their eyes, especially somebody in his position. Either with some of his crazy powers, he's killed a lot of people. Maybe there was an accident where he dropped a bunch of rubble on civilians, something along the lines of that. It could be something along the lines of he's seen what happened in the Void Century and it was too much for him, so he was just like, nah, I can't do this, and he cut his own eyes. I was like, there's definitely something big there why a man would take his own eyes, so to speak. I mean, who the fuck want to be blind? And it's good that it was clarified to Fujitora that Luffy wasn't just being an asshole, wasn't just like, you blind motherfucker, so I'm gonna tell you everything to fuck with you. Like, it showcased, no, it's because he's a good person. He's an innocent person. So that was yet again adding to, okay, Fujitora might in the future be somewhere along the lines of like a smoker, where not necessarily a good guy with us, but somebody that you could trust among all the piece of shit Marines out there. And honestly, this was a splendid, great ass fucking chapter. I mean, we all been, especially throughout the entirety of New World for that matter, when's the next Straw Hat coming? Who's going to be the next Straw Hat? We got 5,600 new Straw Hats, so to speak. I mean, granted, they're not going to be there all the time, and I personally wouldn't want the Tontatas to be there all the time, but again, this is just going to work out in the grand scheme of things a lot better than just another Straw Hat. Like one member or a ton of other members that are going to have Luffy's back, similar to some of the Yonko and how they had all these alliances, so to speak. It's like Luffy is slowly building up his name from what he did on Fishman Island to what he did on Punk Hazard to now everything that happened in Dressrosa, kicking Doflamingo's ass and having all these members is like, holy shit. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm still a little bit curious as to what happened with Kaido and the Kid Alliance. Like, I'm guessing it's going to be a while before Oda reveals what the fuck happened to them, but I don't think they're going to have shit on Luffy after this shit. And yeah, great chapter, like 9.5 out of 10, honestly. Like, the end of Dressrosa has just been slamming, fucking going in, and I'm loving it. Let me know what you guys think about this. Did you prefer it being this crazy new alliance, so to speak, of 5,600 other people, or would you rather have had it be just like one new Straw Hat crew member? I mean, of course, it would be cool to have, like, you know, Bartolomeo, for example, from now on with the rest of the crew, but, I mean, it's been so long since we've had a new crew member. Adding someone else in, at the same time, it could backfire, because at the end of the day, we have Bartolomeo, but who knows if it would get annoying after a while, like, oh, Luffy senpai, so just having people that are going to be there for him might be better than just having, you know, just one person added. And your thoughts of the chapter Luffy versus Fujitora. I mean, Luffy was still going in, and it shows that Luffy might not be physically ready to take out Fujitora, because Fujitora was like, yo, I'll take you out with my own hands, and it had to be that that giant motherfucker grabbed him. So it's like, yeah, even though Luffy might be ready mentally, it not necessarily mean that he can take out an admiral on his own 100%. I mean, he was going in, but I don't know. What do you think? And your overall thoughts of the chapter, but that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you could do so as well, that'd be amazing. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.